Hello, and welcome to another writing vlog slash behind the scenes post slash update for this month. Because there is a post here. This is a video, but there is also a post below it. Unless you're watching this video on YouTube, in which case there isn't a post below it. There's just a link to where you would find the post below it. But that's fine, because if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see you know what's happening. It makes sense, right? Does it make sense? It probably makes sense. I don't know. Look, here's the thing. This video might seem very similar to the one I recorded last time, and in many ways it is. I'm sat here in the dark because it now gets dark before 4:30, and it's raining heavily because it's been raining heavily for weeks now because we're in an unprecedented weather event. And here in Vancouver we are relatively okay, but you just need to go a few miles east and people's homes are flooded and their farms are destroyed and the highways are destroyed and the rail lines have been damaged or overwhelmed and bridges have collapsed and mudslides have come down hills and mountains and people have died. It's a time unlike, certainly not like anything I have ever seen anywhere, but apparently in the history of the province of British Columbia this is something of the like people haven't seen for a century or maybe more. And it's incredibly serious, and it's not just on my mind lately right now, it's affecting everyone and everything in the province right now. There was a period where Vancouver was kind of cut off from the rest of Canada because all of the highways were underwater or destroyed, and by destroyed I mean a mudslide or a landslide, just the highway physically collapses. It's not there anymore, and that route no longer exists. This has affected a lot of people, but I'm lucky enough to be in a place where it's just some bad weather. This has been on my mind and a few people's minds among circles of people I know lately, because obviously it would be, and there might be something that we may do in response to this soon. So first of all, I want to say watch this space with regards to that. Second, I've got good news about writing, which is not something that you are likely to see yet, but I mean, I've said this before, it's a difficult year for everyone. It's continued to be a difficult year for me. I have managed to write a feature that is 4,000 or 5,000 words, which is what I thought the size of this piece of work that I was going to do would be. It isn't finished, and the way things are coming together, it feels now like it might be a two-part piece of two pieces of work of that size. And it will require a lot of editing and shaping, because I think I have the material now, and I think I have the themes, and the language needs to be a lot better. I keep reading what I've written and I've been like, this is fine, this is functional, but I can do this so much better. So there will have to be revisions and rewriting, and I will have to add a lot of things in a way that make them more narrative and also less like a list of events. And I think that will come from editing, but I feel pleased about that because I've also at the same time been working on fiction for my Patreon, which has also become larger than I first expected, and again that also was a struggle to get off the ground. But now that it has, I feel good about that because I'm making progress and I can see this thing coming together and being finished. These things have been really tough for me. Like getting them off the ground, starting them has been very, very challenging, and that's been a physical and mental health thing as well. I've been very, very tired all November. I've had something called hypersomnia, which means I sleep for incredibly long periods of time and then I wake up and I'm very tired, and after about 4 hours I want to go back to sleep. I don't know why this is. I think I've had periods of this in my past, and my thought right now is hopefully this is just a period I will get through and it will pass, and it'll be like a lot of these other things where you just have something for a while and then it goes away. But that's a big challenge to existing in the world, and I almost couldn't pay my rent this month due to work I had or hadn't done, and when payments didn't come in, and a bunch of different life challenges. That's now no longer a problem, but It's not an understatement for me to say it has been a really hard year in every respect. It was a year ago now that I started mood tracking as part of a lot of mental health things I've done. And now I have a year's worth of mood tracking, and that's illustrative. I've done this before in the past for short periods in response to things that happen, but I've never done this for like a year. And that in itself is a whole sort of a miniature project. And it's useful because it provides you data, provides you feedback, provides you information. And illustrations of what things are good for me and what periods are good and what things are not so good. It's good. It's helpful to know this. It's a very overwhelming time for me. And working during this is, I mean, it's tough, but it's also one of the things that makes me feel better. If I'm not doing anything, I don't feel good. I'm not like forcing myself to do something I hate. Like I'm not, hurting myself or putting myself through something I don't like. I'm trying to push through something to the other side. The same for various mental health resources and things I'm doing now and using. Those are not easy to use. Navigating some of the systems that I have to do and pushing myself to do some of the stuff that I need to do is tough. So the solution isn't to tell me like, oh, take it easy, don't do them. The solution, I think, is to push and keep going. I don't know, that's the main points of everything. I am combining this post with an old story that I rewrote this month, that I thought about sharing. It is many years old, and it's different to some other things that I've written in that it is very comic and flippant and rude and obscene, somewhat. Probably not by everybody's standards. But I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I can post this. I don't think people will hate this. And I wanted to rewrite it because I wrote an old draft of it and shared it many, many years ago on the internet. And it's one of these things that bugs me with a piece of work where I never went back and just tweaked it and edited it. And all the tweaks and edits will be kind of small. But it's all that sort of stuff where I'm like, I could just polish this. And I'd like to put it up again, and people might like it, and it might be something fun and silly for the holiday season. So we're just at the end of November. So I've just got enough time to put that up, I hope, before the clock ticks over. And then I will share November's monthly diary post will go up at the start of December, I'm sorry. And then I'll have another one of those for the end of December. Don't forget that if you're on the $8 tier now, where I share a whole bunch more stuff, that post will be combined also with Google Hangout session, which uses my Patreon email address. When I put that post up, I will also tell you the time for that and how to connect to that. And I will aim that for about the middle of the day here, because that allows folks in Australia, which I know there's a few of you, and folks in Europe, which I know there's a few of you, a chance to log in. It's impossible, I'm afraid, to pick a time that will fit with everyone, but I'm going to give this a shot for sort of a midday time here. Hopefully be able to include as many people as possible and just say hello and hang out, and that will hopefully be a fun thing for the holiday season as well. That's it. I'm glad to announce some writing progress and life progress. It's really tough. It's really hard. Everything is just really hard right now. And yet I'm lucky enough to be safe and dry and not in some of the danger that other people are. And certainly, like, I'm only one degree removed from people who are directly affected by what's going on. This isn't the other side of the world to me, which is, an hour and a half journeys away, if that. And it's going to change. It has already fundamentally changed so many people's lives, and it will change people's, not only their holiday season, it'll shape their 2022 on top of a pandemic, on top of a recession, all these other things. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for following my work and all the things that I do. There will be more of this soon. And as I said, it's the holiday season, so your support for me is very much appreciated. And if you feel like supporting other people who use perhaps Patreon or putting out GoFundMes or who are asking for help in this difficult time, in this holiday time. Your spare change and your support of their causes can make a huge difference to them. So please think about this at this time of the year, at any time of year. I will see you soon. Take care.